Welcome to Nexus News, and this is the second and final part of how far can Modi go for elections 2024. In the first part, we talked about the journey of Modi from coming from a lower caste family to becoming the CM and then PM. And in this video, we'll be talking about how he is prepared for the coming elections and uncovering the shocking truth behind the biggest scam in India's history.
Electoral bond scam.
ये तो मोदी ने इलेक्टोरल बॉन्ड बनाया था।
सरकार इस स्कीम से आम इंसान के टैक्स को लूटकर बड़े अरबपतियों की जेबें भर रही है।
Electoral bonds are completely opaque.
Under the electoral bond system introduced by Modi's government in 2018, these bonds must be bought from the State Bank of India but can be donated to parties anonymously. While donors using electoral bonds are technically anonymous, SBI, being a public sector bank, effectively gives the governing party undeclared access to its data, which is likely to discourage large donors from using electoral bonds to donate to opposition parties, according to critics. In 2017, India's central bank, the Reserve Bank of India, cautioned the Modi government that the bonds could be misused by shell companies to facilitate money laundering. In 2019, the Election Commission of India described the system as a retrograde step as far as transparency of donations is concerned. In 2017 and later in 2018, two NGOs and the Communist Party of India filed two separate petitions in the Supreme Court urging it to put an end to the EB system. 6 years later, in 2023, the court finally pronounced its ruling in these cases after it concluded hearings in the petitions challenging the bond system.
5 judges were part of this bench. They unanimously struck down the bonds.
It said that the EB scheme had serious deficiencies. It created an information black hole and has to be removed since it puts a premium on opacity. According to Election Commission data, from April 2019 to February 2024, around 13,000 crores were redeemed by political parties. The BJP redeemed around 47.5% of it. It was revealed that companies that donated more received more government business. On November 10, 2022, India's premier agency tasked with tackling financial corruption arrested P. Sarath Chandra Reddy, an entrepreneur in the southern city of Hyderabad, on allegations of involvement in a liquor scam in New Delhi. 5 days later, Aurobindo Pharma, a company in which Reddy is a director, bought electoral bonds worth 50 million rupees. Until the Supreme Court declared them unconstitutional, these bonds were an opaque mechanism for businesses, individuals, and organizations to donate funds to political parties. All of these bonds, bought by Aurobindo Pharma, went to Modi's BJP, which encashed them in November 2022. Just 7 months later, in June 2023, Reddy turned a state witness known as an approver in India. And in November 2023, Aurobindo Pharma gave 250 million rupees more to the BJP through electoral bonds. That's just one of a series of revelations that have emerged from a giant data dump by the State Bank of India, which oversaw the electoral bond scheme. And as per transparency activists, the disclosures are worrying. Multiple private firms funneled funds worth millions of dollars to the electoral bonds to a range of parties in power, an analysis of the data published by India's Election Commission reveals. Many of them saw the government's attitude towards them change after the donations, while some even won praise from sitting ministers. As the nation's 960 million voters gear up for a crucial national election, the revelations have deepened fears that the electoral bond mechanism enabled a quid pro quo setup between companies and political parties, creating a stink of extortion and corruption. The latest data made public by the Election Commission include unique serial numbers per bond that finally allow mapping of the donors to the receiving parties which was managed after a string of no-nonsense raps for the SBI from the top court. All of the 10 corporate donors from pharma to construction companies who were being probed by the central law enforcement agencies in the last 5 years paid the BJP in some measure, accumulating over 13 billion rupees, the dataset revealed. Other instances too show what transparency activists say point to attempts at influencing policy through donations. Among the country's top donors are several construction companies, including Hyderabad-based Mega Engineering and Infrastructure Limited (MEIL). The construction giant has won government projects worth several $billion, including the world's biggest lift irrigation project in the southern state of Telangana, inaugurated in June 2019, 2 months after the firm started buying bonds. Hyderabad-based Navayuga Engineering Company Limited bought electoral bonds worth Rs 55 crore, and every single one was redeemed by the Bharatiya Janata Party or BJP. It is the same engineering company that was most recently in the news when the Silkyara Barcode Tunnel collapsed in Uttarakhand, trapping 41 laborers for 16 days till they were pulled out manually by rat miners. The Silkyara Tunnel is part of the Modi government's Char Dham all-weather accessibility project. On October 26, 2018, a 20-member team of income tax officials from New Delhi raided Navayuga. It was accused of violating income tax rules and money laundering. 6 months on, the company bought electoral bonds worth Rs 30 crore on April 18, 2019. The BJP redeemed all of these bonds. In mid-2020, Navayuga was granted the government's ambitious Rishikesh-Karnaprayag rail link project. It is responsible for many large and prestigious projects, including bridges over the Ganga, the Quasi-Gund to Banihal Highway project to ensure all-weather connectivity to North Kashmir through Pir Panjal Pass, as per its website. It has also built the Tola Sadia Bridge over the Brahmaputra River, which Prime Minister Modi inaugurated in 2017. Future Gaming gave 600 million to the BJP within 3 months of IT and ED raids on November 12, 2023 and December 1, 2021 respectively. Aurobindo Pharma gave 50 million to the BJP within 3 months of the ED raid on November 10, 2022. And that's not all. Modi is also silencing every voice that is not in his favor. Modi opened a Hindu temple built on the ruins of a historic Mughal-era mosque in the northern town of Ayodhya. This embodied the triumph of Modi's muscular Hindu nationalist politics. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal was arrested without any money trail or conviction. 2 out of 3 election commissioners were appointed by Modi himself. The electoral bonds news removed from the mainstream media. The opposition party Congress revealed that their bank accounts have been frozen. All of a sudden, the Income Tax Department slapped Congress with a 1,700 crore demand notice. Congress also stated that they are unable to run any paid advertisement on media or print. So let's recap. Modi, from helping his father selling tea to becoming the PM, has covered himself in blood and controversy. From making harsh decisions against minorities to depriving opponents of their rights, he can go to any extent to keep his hold on power, from blackmailing companies through raids and getting them to fill BJP's bank. And from getting opposition leaders arrested to playing the nationalist card, he has left no stone unturned to win the mandate again. The 2024 elections will serve as a litmus test for India's commitment to pluralism and inclusivity. Regardless of political allegiance, fostering open dialogue and holding leaders accountable remains paramount in shaping the nation's future trajectory. With the hope of a better world, it's time for us to call it a day. But we do hope that you liked the video and found it informative. Subscribe to our channel and don't forget to click the bell icon. Your valuable suggestions are very important to us, so do post them in the comment section. And I'll see you in the next video.